Over the course of the first 4 Toy Story films, Woody has emotionally grown more than most real men his age. He has faced his fear of abandonment, broken his codependency, and learned how to let go. It's been quite an emotional journey. With Toy Story 5 just around the corner, there is no better time to catch up on where Woody, Buzz, and the gang left off and how they got there. Luckily, you've got a friend in me, and I've got a recap of everything you need to know from the first 4 Toy Story films. Just in case you're a plastic spork who recently gained sentience and has no idea what a Toy Story movie is, it's a film series about toys who are secretly alive and what they do when humans aren't looking. Now that I think about it, if you are a plastic spork who recently gained sentience, you probably don't know what a toy or a movie is. So, you know what, let's just start over.
We can try again, right?
The first Toy Story film opens with Andy, a soon-to-be 6-year-old boy playing with his toys in his cowboy-themed bedroom. Andy likes cowboys more than all the other children in the 90s combined. Honestly, he would have looked like a real weirdo in 1995 playing with his cowboy doll while the other kids were slamming pogs. The toys include Woody, an old pull-string cowboy doll, a Mr. Potato Head, Rex, a timid dinosaur, Slinky Dog, Ham, a piggy bank, and Little Bo Peep and her sheep, who aren't really toys but part of a lamp. Bo also has some kind of romantic thing going with Woody that will become important much later. And once Andy leaves the room, the toys come to life and we get our first look at the secret life of toys. We learn that Woody is the leader and he thinks pretty highly of himself. Woody has what I like to call Luke Skywalker syndrome. He doesn't become the character we know and love until the second half of the film once he learns his lessons and evolves. Unlike Luke, Woody isn't just a little bit whiny. Woody starts out downright unlikable.
You stay away from Andy. He's mine, and no one is taking him away from me.
Andy and his family are moving to a new house, so the toys are preparing for the move. But first is Andy's birthday party, an event that brings most of the toys anxiety. A birthday party means birthday presents, and that could mean new toys that could lead to getting rid of old toys. The fear of abandonment is a strong theme across all the films. At least Mr. Potato Head is hopeful.
Mrs. Potato Head, Mrs. Potato Head, Mrs. Potato Head.
Andy's mom has a special gift. It's Buzz Lightyear, a Space Ranger action figure with karate chop action, laser lights, and retractable wings. Now, this is a cool 90s toy. Buzz, though, doesn't know he is a toy. He thinks he is the real Space Ranger sworn to protect the universe from the evil Emperor Zurg. Woody isn't impressed, but the rest of the toys are, especially once Buzz manages to quote-unquote fly thanks to incredible luck and amazing timing. Woody isn't taking the arrival of Buzz well at all, and that only intensifies as it becomes clear that Andy is gravitating towards Buzz and away from Woody. So much so that despite the fact that they're moving in a few days, Andy's room gets redecorated from cowboy to Space Ranger. Woody's misplaced anger and frustration with Buzz boils over into a fairly devious plot. Woody tries to trap Buzz behind a piece of furniture by knocking him down with the RC car. Instead, Buzz ends up falling out the window of Andy's room. All of the toys witness this, and Woody now has a mutiny on his hands. Woody will have to save Buzz now to win back the trust of the toys. When Andy can't find Buzz, he begrudgingly takes the cowboy with him to dinner. Buzz hitches a ride and they eventually end up at Pizza Planet, a space-themed Chuck E. Cheese-style restaurant that Buzz thinks is a real space station, and his way to get home to Star Command. Buzz enters a claw machine game, mistaking it for a spaceship, where Woody and Buzz meet a religious cult of little green alien squeaky toys who worship the claw as some sort of deity. Unfortunately, for everyone involved, playing the claw game is Andy's next-door neighbor, Sid. Sid is a toy's worst nightmare. He tortures toys, destroying them and then Frankensteining them back together. Woody is well aware of the atrocities Sid is capable of and tries to escape, but in a plot twist less believable than living toys, Sid manages to pick up a squeaky alien with the claw and then also Buzz, who Woody is hanging onto. There's no way anybody has ever won 2 consecutive attempts at a claw machine. Sid's house is one of horrors, rambunctious dogs, zombie-esque toys, and tea parties, but the most terrifying thing Buzz discovers in Sid's house is the truth. While trying to escape, Buzz happens to see a commercial on television advertising, well, him. The commercial makes it undisputable Buzz Lightyear is in fact a toy. It even spells out that he can't really fly. Buzz attempts to fly one more time with disastrous results. Now, broken and realizing his entire life is a lie, Buzz breaks down into an epic existential crisis. This includes him seemingly getting drunk. Somehow, after not technically drinking anything.
Snap out of it, Buzz!
I think that was just Tim Allen. Woody has to put his differences aside and work with Buzz to get home, and that requires Woody to admit that his anger toward Buzz was misplaced jealousy, and that Buzz is really a cool toy. Buzz is searching for meaning in his new life as a toy, and Woody helps him find it. Now that's the Woody we know and love. Woody recruits all of Sid's misfit toys to help him and Buzz escape. The toys completely freak Sid out by revealing to him that they are alive, no doubt causing him a lifetime of mental health issues. Now that they've ruined Sid's life, it's time to get to Andy. But it's moving day and he's in his mom's car driving away from their house for the last time. A wild chase ensues where Woody and Buzz face every possible obstacle while trying to catch up to Andy. Woody helps Buzz fly and is genuinely happy to make that happen for his newfound friend, and this time, a more modest Buzz admits it's not really flying.
This isn't flying, this is falling with style.
The first film ends with all the toys together in Andy's new house on Christmas Day. They are once again gathered around, anxiously waiting to see what presents Andy will receive. This time, even Buzz is a little nervous. Mr. Potato Head gets his missus, Andy gets a puppy, and Woody gets under the mistletoe with Bo Peep. It's weird. Don't think about it too much. Toy Story 2 opens with Buzz and Rex playing the Buzz Lightyear video game. This is our first look at Emperor Zurg, Buzz Lightyear's arch enemy, only talked about in the first film. Woody is excited because he's about to go with Andy to cowboy camp, a totally real thing every kid did in the 90s. Don't look that up, please. Before leaving, Woody accidentally gets damaged. Andy's mom decides Woody can't go and places him on the dreaded top shelf with other old and broken toys. There, Woody finds Wheezy, a penguin squeaky toy whose squeaker broke months ago. Andy's mom takes Wheezy outside to her yard sale. Woody saves Wheezy, but is discovered by a yard sale patron who steals Woody. Now, it's Buzz Lightyear to the rescue. With a little detective work, Buzz figures out that the man is Al from Al's Toy Barn. Al is every guy you've ever seen get into a fight over Pokemon cards. The toys have seen Al's Toy Barn commercials on television, including the one Buzz watched in the first movie, leading to his mental breakdown. It turns out Woody is a valuable vintage toy from the 1950s based on the character of Sheriff Woody from the popular TV show Woody's Roundup, and he is far from the only piece of Woody memorabilia. The Roundup gang includes Jessie the Cowgirl, Woody's horse Bullseye, and Stinky Pete the Prospector, who is still mint in box. Woody is smitten with his past fame and enjoys meeting his new old friends. Al is preparing to sell the toys to a museum in Japan. Woody is reluctant to go at first because of his devotion to Andy. Jessie reveals to Woody that she once had a special kid just like Andy, but she eventually grew up and abandoned Jessie. The Prospector warns Woody that someday soon Andy will do the same thing to him. Woody decides to stay with the rest of the Roundup gang and go to the museum in Japan. I would do literally anything for that toy horse if he looked at me like that. I would leave my own children, let alone Andy.
All right.
Buzz and a team of toys trek from Andy's house to Al's Toy Barn. There, Buzz Lightyear finds a whole aisle of Buzz Lightyear toys. Andy's Buzz comes face to face with a new Buzz Lightyear who mimics the way Buzz acted in the first film. This Buzz doesn't know he's a toy. Andy's Buzz quickly learns what Woody had to deal with. Buzz, and the rest of the toys eventually find Woody in Al's apartment, but not before releasing an Emperor Zurg toy from his packaging. After a brief Captain America Civil War style showdown between the two groups of toys, Woody tells Buzz and the gang that he is going to Japan. Woody, swept up in his past fame, has embraced being a collector's item. Buzz can't believe it. After all, Woody was the one who taught him the value of being one of Andy's toys. Buzz rightfully feels betrayed as Woody devolves back to the jerk we met at the beginning of the first movie. Buzz and the toys leave Woody with the Roundup gang and head home to Andy, but it doesn't take long for Woody to realize the error of his ways. Woody hears the song "You've Got a Friend in Me" and it reminds him of Andy. He remembers what it's like to be loved by Andy, and once again wants to be Andy's toy. In our world, "You've Got a Friend in Me" is a song written and performed by Randy Newman for the first Toy Story movie, but in the world of Toy Story, it's a song Woody sang on the Woody's Roundup TV show. What Woody is connecting to is a song that's about his and Andy's friendship from a fictional movie that doesn't exist in the world he is in, that also happens to be the sequel to that movie. I gotta move on.
This is weirding me out.
The Prospector stops Woody from leaving and Al packs them up in their travel cases, sending them off to the airport. Now it's up to Buzz and Andy's toys to rescue Woody once again. But first, they have to defeat Zurg, which actually ends up being easier in real life than in the video game.
I can't look!
The toys steal a Pizza Planet delivery truck and end up saving the lives of some little green aliens. About a decade later, they'll be really glad they did. The toys make it all the way to the airport where they defeat Stinky Pete and rescue the others, arriving back to Andy's house just as Andy returns from cowboy camp. Andy fixes Woody's arm himself, showing that yes, Andy is growing up, but he also still cares about Woody. Wheezy's squeaker is fixed too, and to celebrate, he sings a song. You've got a friend in me. How the f*** does Wheezy know you've got a friend in me? Has he seen Woody's Roundup? I mean, has he seen the movie Toy Story? Where is he from originally? How did he... They followed this with outtakes of the toys filming the movie. And so Toy Story 2, I really don't know where reality begins and ends. I hate this.
Getting kind of tense, aren't you?
Toy Story 3 is a film about learning when to let go and how to say goodbye. It is heart-wrenching from beginning to end. Quentin Tarantino says it's one of the best movies he's ever seen, and I'm pretty sure he's seen every movie.
The third one is just magnificent. It's one of the best movies I've ever seen.
We pick up about a decade after Toy Story 2. Andy is about to leave for college. The toys have resorted to trying to trick Andy into playing with them. We learn that some toys are gone, including Bo Peep. Woody decides that it's time to call it and prepare for life in the attic. Andy throws the toys into a trash bag to take to the attic, but decides Woody is coming with him to college. Andy's mom mistakes the bag containing the toys for trash and takes it out to the curb. The toys escape, but now they think Andy threw them away. They see a donation box heading to a daycare center and decide they'd be better off going there. Woody tries to tell the toys what happened, but while doing so gets trapped and ends up being donated with the rest of the toys. At first, Sunnyside Daycare looks like a toy paradise. It has everything a toy could want. There's even a claw, so the little green aliens can observe their religion. Barbie meets Ken, and it's love at first sight. Andy's now former toys meet the toy who runs the place, Lotso Huggin' Bear, a strawberry-scented bear with a sly southern charm.
Welcome to Sunnyside, folks. I'm Lotso Huggin' Bear, but please call me Lotso.
Buzz Lightyear, we coming.
Lotso's right-hand man is a baby doll named Big Baby, who years before got lost with Lotso. The toys eagerly await being played with for the first time in years, but Woody is ready to return to Andy and thinks the other toys should too. Everyone but Woody has come to terms with the fact that Andy has grown up and is moving on. Woody can't face this. He's not ready to say goodbye to Andy. Angry that the other toys don't feel the same, a defiant Woody won't even give Buzz one last goodbye. Woody escapes Sunnyside, but gets stuck in a tree outside, where he is found by Bonnie, a little girl whose mom works at the daycare center and knows Andy and his family. Bonnie takes Woody home with her, where he meets her toys. Though not back with Andy, Woody does enjoy being played with again. Back at Sunnyside, the toys learn that Lotso is not as sweet as he smells. Lotso has Buzz return to his factory settings, causing him to return to the Space Ranger we met at the beginning of the franchise. Lotso uses Buzz as an enforcer to keep the other toys trapped in the preschool room. Lotso needs new toys as fodder for the preschoolers so he can stay safe with the older kids, even if it means the new toys are destroyed. Woody meets a clown named Chuckles, who came from Sunnyside and knows all about Lotso. He tells Woody the story of Lotso's villainous origin. Lotso, Chuckles, and Big Baby were accidentally left at a park by their kid. By the time they made the long journey back home, the kid had already gotten another Lotso Huggin' Bear. Lotso snaps, forces Chuckles and Big Baby to turn their back on their kid, even though he was the only one rejected. Now, instead of continuing on his journey to find Andy, Woody must return to Sunnyside to save his friends, but it won't be easy. They're going to have to get through the locked doors while avoiding Lotso's patrols, then find a way over the wall or out the trash chute, all while avoiding the wind-up monkey who is monitoring all of the security cameras. If you saw the Osgood Perkins movie, you know how dangerous these monkeys can be. Now, it's time for the Great Escape. Mr. Potato Head purposely gets caught escaping, distracting the monkey long enough for Woody and Slinky Dog to take him out. Meanwhile, Barbie manipulates Ken into letting her out of her prison and taking her back to his dream house, where she jumps Ken, ties him up, and tortures him by destroying his clothes until he spills the beans on what they did to Buzz and how to fix him. Just as they're about out, they're confronted by Lotso and his gang. Lotso presents Andy's toys with an ultimatum. They can go to the dump in the trash bin, or they can come back into Sunnyside and face the toddlers. With the trash truck fast approaching, things aren't looking good, but Woody has an ace up his sleeve. He exposes Lotso's secret, causing Big Baby to turn on Lotso, throwing him away in the trash bin. Baby even gives him a raspberry for good measure. Lotso grabs Woody and pulls him down into the trash bin with him. The rest of the toys are forced to follow along. The trash dump is a complete nightmare, presenting one obstacle after another. The toys fight to stay alive and stay together. This includes Lotso, who Woody and Buzz save. Eventually, they all end up on a conveyor belt, headed toward a giant fire pit that looks like literal hell. There's only one chance to survive, and that's by hitting the conveyor belt stop button. Woody and Buzz boost Lotso up to the button and to safety, but in one final evil act, Lotso decides to not hit the button and let the toys die.
Where's your kid now, Sheriff?
Well, this is it. The toys are about to meet their end. There is no way to escape this time. The toys embrace, understanding their fate. They come to terms with their morality and face their impending death head-on with grace. It's pretty f***ing adult for a kid's movie. Suddenly, they're scooped up by a giant claw being operated by the little green aliens, repaying the other toys for saving their lives in the second film. The toys manage to get back to Andy's house right before Andy leaves for college. They prepare once again to go to the attic, but now Woody has other plans. Woody writes a note on the box telling Andy to donate the toys to Bonnie, and he does just that. One by one, Andy pulls the toys out of the box, at once introducing them to Bonnie, but also saying goodbye. Just when Andy thinks he's said goodbye to all his toys, he sees that somehow Woody has managed to get into the donation box as well. Bonnie spots him too and is excited to see the cowboy again. Woody has decided it's time to finally say goodbye to Andy and move on. Andy knows he has to do the same thing. Andy decides to give Woody to Bonnie. As difficult as it is to say goodbye, it's the right decision for everyone. And also, another very adult moment in this movie. Andy goes off to college and the toys begin their new life as Bonnie's toys. The camera pans up to the sky, showing clouds that match the wallpaper from Andy's room in the first film. A perfect ending to one of the best movie trilogies of all time.
They did a fourth.
Toy Story 4 opens with the flashback to the night Andy's mom gave away Bo Peep. She puts Bo Peep and her sheep into a box that she then gives to an unknown person. Woody opens the box and attempts to save Bo Peep, but it turns out she doesn't need saving. Bo Peep realizes that it's time for her to move on to the next kid, and she wants Woody to come with her. It looks like Woody is about to join her until he hears Andy looking for him. They share a goodbye, and Woody goes back to being Andy's toy. 9 years later, we're back in Bonnie's room. Woody is having a hard time coming to terms with his place in the hierarchy of Bonnie's toys. He's on a streak of not being played with, and even when Bonnie needs a sheriff for playtime, she uses Jessie instead. The more Bonnie ignores Woody, the more obsessed with Bonnie Woody becomes. Woody learns Bonnie is about to go to kindergarten orientation, and despite the other toys' objections, he sneaks into Bonnie's backpack and goes anyway. When Bonnie doesn't have supplies during craft time, Woody digs a bunch of stuff out of the trash and places it on the table for her to craft with. Bonnie uses the trash to make Forky, a discarded spork that she has attached googly eyes to. Now, because the spork now has human features, it comes to life. Or maybe it's because Bonnie loves him. Or because he's a toy now? I have no idea how this works.
I have a question. Well, actually not just one. I have all of them.
Anyway, the spork is alive, but he doesn't want to be. Forky knows he is trash and is desperate to throw himself away. He tries to do so every chance he gets, but Woody won't let him. Woody knows how important Forky is to Bonnie, and he intends on keeping Forky out of the trash by any means necessary. With 1 week until Bonnie actually starts kindergarten, her family decides to take a road trip, and Bonnie brings all her toys with her in the RV. While on the road, Forky manages to escape. Woody goes after him, telling the other toys he'll meet back up with him at their next stop. Woody finds Forky, and on a long walk, he does exactly what I just did, and recaps the first 3 Toy Story movies for Forky.
Who's Andy?
Andy was my other kid.
You had another kid?
Yeah, for a long time. It was pretty great.
Just as they are about to reach the RV, Woody and Forky pass an antique store. In the window is Bo Peep's lamp. Woody can't help but investigate. They meet an old talking doll from the 1950s named Gabby Gabby and her 4 nonverbal ventriloquist doll friends. I don't think that was her official name, that's just how she appears in my nightmares. Gabby's voice box is broken, and she thinks that's what's keeping her from getting a kid of her own. Gabby decides she's going to remove Woody's voice box and use it as her own. Woody manages to escape, but Forky isn't so lucky. Woody is taken across the street to a park where he comes face to face with Bo Peep. Bo and her sheep are lost toys, and they are happy about it. Bo has been lost for 7 years, and in that time, she's had adventures all over the world. When Woody doesn't meet the toys at the RV, Buzz sets out to find him. The rest of the toys have to come up with a plan to keep Bonnie's family from driving away and leaving Buzz and Woody behind.
We could frame Dad for a crime so he goes to jail.
Honestly, that would have made for a much more interesting movie, but instead, Jessie simply gives the RV a flat tire. Bo has a plan to rescue Forky. She takes Woody to a sort of toy speakeasy inside a pinball machine, where we meet
Duke Kaboom, Canada's greatest stuntman. Huh. Oh yeah. Huh.
Bo needs Duke to jump his motorcycle across the antique store aisle into the cabinet where Forky is being kept. He finds Forky, but Gabby and the ventriloquist dolls find them, and a fight takes place across the antique store. Everyone manages to escape the store besides Forky, who is once again stuck. Woody wants everyone to go back in the store and try again, but Bo has had enough. She sees Woody return to his past obsessive behavior and confronts him about it, only for Woody to lash out at her, similar to how he treated Buzz at this point in the last 2 films. Woody goes back to get Forky alone. He immediately runs into Gabby, and this time she convinces him to give her his voice box in exchange for Forky. Once Woody gets Forky back to Bonnie, he makes a huge decision. After seeing all the amazing things that exist outside of a kid's bedroom and hearing the hard truth from Bo, Woody decides that he is making himself a lost toy and not returning to Bonnie. Back in the first film, becoming a lost toy was Woody's worst nightmare.
I'm lost. I'm a lost toy.
We've seen him grow so much over the course of the 4 films that he now embraces being lost in a similar way that he ended up embracing Buzz in the first film, or his own mortality in the third. Woody spent 4 movies needing to be needed by Andy, by Bonnie, even by the other toys. Now, he finally lets those feelings go. The toys all say their goodbyes, and Woody deputizes Jessie. Woody and Bo Peep head out for untold adventures with the traveling carnival.
Woody's a lost toy?
He's not lost. Not anymore.
Toy Story 4 wraps up by jumping 1 year later to Bonnie's first day of first grade. Bonnie has made a new friend just like Forky, Knifey, a female plastic knife who has the same question most of us have had at one point or another during these movies.
How am I alive?
And that's the end of these Toys stories, at least for now. So, are you excited for Toy Story 5? Perhaps you're now ready to give Toy Story 4 another chance. Or maybe you're still stuck trying to figure out how these toys were alive. Keeping you up at nights? It is for me. Why are only toys alive and not other things, by the way? And why is Bo Peep alive if she's a lamb? Wait, I mean, ham is a bank. That's not a toy. Is it just anything with a face? Anything plastic with a face?